Food Safety Overview for Associates.
The vision we have for Cisco is to be our customers' most valued and trusted business partner. Foundational to that vision is our complete commitment to provide safe, quality-assured products to all of our customers. Food safety is fundamental to the bond of trust that we build with our customers and consumers each and every day. The delivery of safe products and the safety of people on the job cannot be compromised for any reason. It is critical that each of us understands and follows Cisco's operating policies, as they are designed to support our customers, to protect their patrons, and to comply with regulations. Should an issue of food safety arise, let me be clear. It is the collective and individual responsibility of all associates across the Cisco family of companies to raise any concerns to leadership. This ability to be open and honest is essential to our success. If for any reason you believe that your voice will not be heard, please report your concerns to the Cisco Alert Line. Thank you for your commitment to food safety and for your commitment to being our customers' most valued and trusted business partner.
Once you have completed this module, you'll be able to know the importance of food safety, understand Cisco's commitment to food safety, identify foodborne illness, differentiate types of contamination and recognize the causes, recognize potentially hazardous foods, PHFs, and understand how Cisco associates impact food safety. Let's begin. The importance of food safety. Food safety is a subject we take very seriously at Cisco. In addition to aligning with our corporate values, vision, and mission, ensuring food safety is the right thing to do for our customers, a regulatory imperative, and our moral responsibility. We are the industry leader in food safety and are committed to maintaining that position. We are the #1 food service distributor in North America. Our company's vision and mission are the driving force behind our dedication to maintaining that distinction. Cisco's mission is to market and deliver great products to our customers with exceptional service. And our vision is to be our customers' most valued and trusted business partner. Ensuring the food safety of the products we deliver to our customers is foundational to both our mission and our vision, and is essential to the success of our customers and our company. Let's take a closer look at the varied components which constitute food safety. Foodborne illness. A foodborne illness is an illness caused by eating contaminated food. A foodborne disease outbreak is when 2 or more cases of the same illness result. Foodborne illnesses are commonly caused by infections or toxins from pathogenic bacteria, fungi, parasites and/or viruses, chemicals, and lastly, allergens. According to the Center for Disease Control, the CDC, 6 pathogens are responsible for most foodborne illnesses and deaths each year. They also identified the 10 most contaminated foods. As you can see, the foods identified as most commonly contaminated are foods we regularly handle. Take a moment to review. Before we review the details for foodborne illness, let's identify those who are most at risk. Fact of the matter is that anyone can fall ill, but the groups that are most at risk are the elderly, including those who may reside in nursing homes, infants, children and youth attending school or in a daycare environment, expectant mothers, and those who are already ill where their immune systems are compromised. As you can see, these groups of individuals are representatives in our customer base. We've identified the who. Now for the symptoms of foodborne illness. They can vary widely, but most include one or more of the following: abdominal pain, diarrhea, fever, nausea, stomach cramping, and vomiting. The first symptoms can occur within 36 hours. This is known as the onset period. Symptoms may last anywhere from 1 to 7 days. The severity of these symptoms varies, but in the most extreme cases, the results can include permanent damage to your health and even death. The U.S. Center for Disease Control, the CDC, estimates that each year roughly 48 million people get sick. 128,000 are hospitalized, and 3,000 die of foodborne diseases. Estimated annual cost of foodborne illness to the economy approaches $80 billion. Now, let's hear the story of Zella Pluhoff, who contracted salmonella. This is an account of her and her family dealing with foodborne illness.
Salmonella is the second leading cause of foodborne illness in the U.S. It's the leading cause of food-related hospitalization and death. Salmonella kills over 370 people in the U.S. each year. Sadly, the outbreak you are about to hear resulted in 56 illnesses, 7 hospitalizations, and 1 death. On June 22, 2010, after 7 weeks of hospitalization, Mrs. Zella Pluhoff of Athens, Ohio, passed away from complications caused by foodborne illness. This is an account of her hospitalization and death, as told by her husband, Milton Pluhoff.
My name is Milton Pluhoff. My wife passed away from salmonella poisoning, and we went to a local restaurant, and they were terribly crowded. It was Mother's Day weekend. My son and wife had special dinner for 2, which was their favorite. They both were affected by salmonella poisoning. She was terribly ill. She went to the hospital it was a Friday night. When my wife was affected by salmonella, there were 38 other cases that night in that restaurant. It was 7 weeks from the time she ate this salmonella-infected food till she passed away. The illness is the illness of salmonella food poisoning is terribly, terribly painful. The morning when I called 911, she was sitting in a comfortable chair. She'd made it out there. She was talking on the phone to her daughter in Chicago, and the phone fell out of her hand. And I couldn't walk her to the door. The ambulance people came in, but my son was so weak. Just 12 hours after the eating of this salmonella infected stuff, he couldn't even get out of bed, and she was in worse shape. The real stress on the family was 7 weeks of daily time in the hospital. We incurred a hospital bill at Riverside of $102,000, and I think professional management should sure as heck be aware of the fact that under conditions of pressure of business, that there's also a problem that can arise because of overtaxing the facilities. I shouldn't have to worry about, because it could be easy for people to rush and serve something that had not been held at proper temperature, and that's exactly what happened.
Foodborne illness can be devastating. The Pluhoff family ordeal is not one that any of us would want our families to endure, and it is one of the reasons that we must ensure the safety of the products we distribute. You can see the links in this story to food distribution. Ms. Pluhoff and her son became ill from a meal they shared at a restaurant. Her susceptibility to the illness was heightened due to her age. Cisco delivers all types of products to restaurants, hospitals, assisted living homes, and schools where people, including those susceptible to foodborne illness, may be customers. Next, we will take a look at the everyday key food safety actions that Cisco is taking to keep customers and products safe. First, maintain the proper temperature for all refrigerated and frozen foods. Typically, 40 degrees Fahrenheit is a good rule of thumb as a temperature that maintains food safety. However, some items may be kept cooler for quality reasons. Frozen foods should be maintained at freezing temperatures, typically 0 degrees Fahrenheit. While food safety is not an issue with foods in a frozen state, the colder a frozen food is stored, the longer its quality will keep. Next, handle products in a manner that minimizes the potential for cross-contact. This minimizes the potential for a raw item to have direct cross-contact with a ready-to-eat item. We will learn more about different types of cross-contact later in this training session. And lastly, keep all facilities in a condition that is conducive to safe food handling practices, clean and free of pests. Another common cause of foodborne illness is exposure of an allergic individual to a food product containing an allergen. An allergen is a normally harmless substance that causes a reaction in a person sensitive to the allergen. The immune system of a person with allergies responds to the allergen in much the same way that the immune system responds to a germ. Food allergies are not that common. They are estimated to occur in 3 to 4% of adults and 5 to 6% of children, but they are an important food safety concern because many allergies have small threshold levels. That is, they require only a tiny amount of allergen to trigger an allergic reaction. The amount of allergen protein that can be transmitted to an otherwise safe food through cross-contact is often beyond this level. While more than 160 foods can cause allergic reactions in people with food allergies, The 8 most common allergenic foods, also known as the Big 8, account for 90% of food allergic reactions and are the food sources from which many other ingredients are derived. These foods are milk, eggs, fish, for example, bass, flounder, or cod, crustacean shellfish, crab, lobster, shrimp. At number 5, tree nuts, for example, almonds, walnuts, and pecans, peanuts, wheat, and rounding out the Big 8 list, soybeans. In addition to the Big 8, Canada includes mustard, sesame, and sulfites on their list of common allergens. Allergic individuals must be vigilant to ensure they do not consume foods that contain ingredients to which they are sensitive. Manufacturers and distributors must employ practices that help ensure that allergens from one item do not become incorporated into another item where it would not appear on the label and where the allergic individual would not expect to find it. This transfer of allergens from one item to another is called cross-contact and is a potential issue anytime you store foods that contain allergens. That is one reason Sysco has to ensure that the products accepted into warehouses for further delivery are contained within adequate packaging that minimizes potential for leakage or spillage. Also, if we damage an allergen-containing product that then spills, we must clean that spill promptly and ensure no other product was contacted by that spill. Contamination types. There are 3 common types of contamination: physical, chemical, and biological. Let's review each type, beginning with physical. And include glass, insects or pests, rodent and or insect droppings, metal, plastic, and wood. Potential physical contamination sources are best controlled by proper sanitation, pest control, and maintenance in our warehouses and delivery vehicles. It is essential that we keep our storage areas, loading docks, and delivery vehicles clean, pest-free, and properly maintained to help prevent any potential physical contaminants from becoming incorporated into the products we distribute. Next, chemical. Unwanted chemicals may come in contact with raw materials or may come into play during storage, preparation, service, or display due to poor cleaning or even pest control. Examples of chemical contamination include chemicals from cleaning products and freezer refrigerants. Storage of and or failure to label chemical containers in food storage or preparation areas can also contribute to chemical hazards. In fact, some chemicals, if ingested, may result in poisoning, long-term illness, and even death. Lastly, biological. Biological contamination is the most common type of contamination and can have very severe consequences. Typically, they are difficult to detect at first, but may result in foodborne illnesses or even death. Examples of biological contaminants include pathogenic bacteria, fungi, parasites, and viruses. The contaminants can be transferred to food from a variety of sources, such as pests, poor hygiene by food handlers, raw food contacting ready-to-eat foods, and unclean contact surfaces. Contamination occurs when bacteria and viruses are transferred from a contaminated to an uncontaminated surface. Cross-contamination is similar to the cross-contact scenario we described earlier when discussing allergens. The bacteria and viruses can come from people, work surfaces, or equipment, and other foods. Cross-contamination can occur when bacteria from the raw meat, poultry, or contaminated vegetables, such as unwashed potatoes, are transferred onto ready-to-eat foods such as green salads, rice or pasta salads, cooked meats, poultry, or fruit. While the bacteria on the raw food are killed if the food is cooked to the appropriate temperature by the end user, the ready-to-eat food is eaten without further cooking, and if contaminated, can pass the bacteria along to the person eating the product. While hands are the most obvious culprits in transferring bacteria from raw to ready-to-eat food, direct or indirect contact with raw foods can be responsible for spreading contamination. Incorrectly storing raw foods by allowing them to come into direct contact with ready-to-eat foods, or allowing raw meat juices to drip onto other ready-to-eat foods, can also cause cross-contamination. That is why we must be vigilant in our storage and handling practices to assure there is no cross-contamination between raw food products and ready-to-eat foods. Raw foods should always be treated as though there is the potential they are contaminated. Term potentially hazardous foods, or PHFs. But do you know what the term itself means, and what types of foods can be labeled as PHF? By definition, potentially hazardous food, PHF, is a term used by food safety organizations to classify foods that require time-temperature control to keep them safe for human consumption. Some of you might recognize many of these items as what we refer to as HACCP, or sensitive items. The following food types are commonly referred to as PHFs: dairy and milk products, ready-to-eat fruits and vegetables, meat, poultry, products made from raw eggs, and seafood and shellfish. As the name implies, these are the foods that must be handled the most carefully to maintain their safety. Sysco must buy these products from reputable suppliers who manage their safety while in their possession. Sysco must handle these foods in a manner that maintains the cold chain from receipt through delivery and minimizes risk for cross-contamination. As we have examined, there are many food items that fall under the PHF category, but there are also foods that are considered to be low risk. What is a low-risk food? A low-risk food is dry food or food containing high levels of sugar, salt, acid, or other preservatives. Low-risk foods include breads, cereal, fruits, and uncooked pasta. While these foods are considered low risk, food distributors still must assure that these products are handled in a manner to prevent any cross-contact with allergens, chemical, or physical hazards. This is one reason why Sysco has such strong pest control, sanitation, and associate hygiene requirements in our warehouses. In order to ensure that food products remain safe while in Sysco's possession, temperature readings and careful observation of packaging must occur at various points throughout Sysco's supply chain. To begin, when the supplier delivers food to Sysco, the Sysco receiver must take 3 product temperature readings at the nose, middle, and tail of the trailer. Careful attention must be paid to the temperature and condition of the products to ensure that the product is safe and packaging is sufficient to prevent cross-contamination and that there are no leaks or spills. The selector will pick items to fill customer orders and deliver them to the cold dock. The selector serves as a checkpoint to ensure that packaging is not compromised in a manner that could lead to cross-contact. Selectors must always be vigilant to ensure that cross-contamination does not occur. Prior to the trailer's placement at the dock door, the pre-cool procedure is initiated. The loader must check to make sure the truck's refrigeration unit is working properly and load cold foods onto the truck in a timely manner. The delivery person takes possession at this point. Selected driver associates shall record temperatures several times throughout the delivery cycle. Once the delivery person turns over all items on the order to the customer, Sysco's possession ends and the customer's process begins with a safe, properly handled food product. Occasionally, a problem is discovered with a food product already in the supply chain, and that food product must be removed from distribution. When a supplier, regulator, or Sysco discovers or is made aware of a problem with a product that could lead to a consumer becoming ill, that product will be recalled, and it will become all participants in that food supply chain's responsibility to remove the product from distribution. Sysco has a very effective and efficient recall process, but it requires all involved to do their part in as timely a manner as possible. Many different associates from numerous teams at our operating companies and corporate office are typically involved with recall activities. These include, but are not limited to, corporate, RDCs, customer service, sales, accounting, operations, transportation, inventory control, crisis management, and communications. When a recall is initiated and you are involved, please make sure that you react as quickly as possible. It is our responsibility to notify our customers in a timely manner any time we become aware that a product we distribute is subject to recall. Food recalls are intended to remove unsafe or unsuitable products from distribution. Food recalls can be disruptive to our customers' business, but are essential to maintain the safety of the food supply. Food recalls are increasing as communication and food testing technologies become more advanced. It is our objective to promptly remove any product from the marketplace that may cause illness to one of our customers' patrons. We must remember that Sysco distributes a large number of food products every day, and that many of these are categorized as PHFs. Also, we have a legal obligation and a moral duty to provide safe food products to all of our customers, and some of our customers may be especially susceptible to foodborne illness. We as associates have the critical responsibility of keeping the food products in our possession safe. If our everyday safe food handling practices are not executed properly, food safety problems can occur. When you're executing your job duties every day, apply the following key principles. Handle products in a manner that minimizes potential for cross-contact. Maintain the proper temperatures for all refrigerated and frozen foods, especially potentially hazardous foods. Next, keep all facilities in a condition that is conducive to safe food handling practices outlined by Sysco Corporation. Remember, keep it clean, keep it moving, and keep it cold. And finally, do the right thing. Notify your supervisor should you see any practices that do not support the above key principles. All of us, in our everyday activities, both at work and at home, must be vigilant when it comes to food safety. Some of us perform duties every day at work that require food safety decision-making. Others may have to think about how our activities impact the safety of the food we deliver. Our approach and the decisions we make must be focused on ensuring the safety of the products we provide to our customers. While there are many things we must do every day to help assure the safety of the food we supply our customers, there are 3 things that are absolutely essential, including confirming the proper temperature of potentially hazardous foods upon receipt and maintaining that temperature the entire time these foods are in our possession, confirming the proper condition of products we receive and maintaining that condition the entire time the products are in our possession, and delivering all products to our customers on a clean, properly maintained, temperature-controlled Sysco delivery vehicle. Do the right thing. As Mr. Delaney said, should an issue of food safety arise, it is the collective and individual responsibility of all associates across the Sysco family of companies to raise any concerns to leadership. This includes any and all deviations away from the safe food handling and delivery processes covered in this presentation. This ability to be open and honest is essential to our success. If for any reason you believe your voice will not be heard, it is your responsibility to report your concerns to the Sysco Alert Line. Should you have questions or comments concerning this content, please contact either of the food safety contacts shown on the screen or by calling the Cisco Alert Line. You will now be directed to the responsibility statement for this module. You have completed this training. Thank you for your participation, and you may now exit the module. Food Safety Overview for Associates.